Hi. I'm just going to wait for a few people to come in. Dropping my phone on the floor. Really? How do I get... God, I'm just knocking everything over. Right, that might do. Oh God. I'm trying to balance my tablet. That'll have to do. Oh, this is relevant. My son's... Right, hang on. Hi, Mark. I'll call you Sphere World because, yeah, it says 10 people in chat. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. What is going on with my hair this morning? Oh, makes me laugh. Hi, JP. Good morning. I'm still tired from last night. I only recently got up. That's why my hair looks like this, but there you go. Sort it out after. Oh. But I've done a lovely picture last night. After the chat we had last night, I did this. Hi, Dolly. It's Rob. We met at Kidderminster. Could you email me? Roxanne has my... What does POTP stand for? Am I just being daft? I met you at the Kidderminster. I can't remember. What did you look like? There's Roxanne. She's in the chat right now, so there you go. Rob. I'm really bad at remembering stuff in the Muggle world, but did I speak to you? Oh, I can't remember. I know I spoke to lots of people, so, you know. Sorry about that. Who've we got in? We've got... I'll call you Sphere World. Sphere World, Mark. JP. The lovely Roxanne. Martin, A up. 007, yay, 007's in as well. Please check his channel out if you haven't, if you're new. And if you don't know 007 and Roxanne, we do we call it the Trinity channel. The Really Woke Show, which is coming back very, very soon. We're just tweaking. So you'll be able to check us all out on there all together as well. But we all have individual channels as well. And we all do our individual things. Roxanne does her thing. 007 does his thing. I do mine. But we're all on the same wavelength with most of the stuff. And then we come together on the Really Woke Show to discuss different things. Doesn't always mean we're proper in alignment with each other, but I just think that's a great way of doing it. So I just thought I'd chuck that out there for any new people that may be here or come here, so you all know. Yeah, Soul Family. So hi Rob, was I remember Dolly? I'd tell you when I was... Yeah, she'll tell me. I'm so excited today. I'm so excited, and I hope you all go and check this video out. I'm gonna play it and then I'm gonna interject in it. I'm not gonna show you. I'll show you who it is, and then we're just gonna listen to it, and then I'll inject, because what this person has been saying is, funny enough, what we were talking about last night. And even, you know, 007 and Roxanne, we've had this channel off chat last year, you know, about sustainable living. But it's not just that, it's about the energy. And a lot of things I've been waffling on about my channel, and many other people have been talking about this, but everybody expresses their expression of how they understand things with the way they express themselves. This person is like, wow, this is what we've been talking about. And that's why I've entitled it Energy, Energy, Energy. Everything is energy. And this is why I'm just going to go off on a tangent first and get it out of my system. For example, if I go and watch someone on YouTube, you know, YouTube channels, there'll be certain people, I think 007 might remember me saying to him, he sent me something once and I was like, yeah, I've heard that off the lines of Santos Bonici. which I think is great. Well, this person, because I'm not saying who it is, because I'm not saying people are wrong or I don't like people or whatever it is. It's just that some people, I just don't resonate with their energy. It doesn't mean that they're bad or whatever it is. It's just, I don't go with the energy. When I watch people, I like to watch people who are quite expressive, facially, bodily, just quite expressive, and they don't have a monotone voice. 7 and 17, it says on my side. Whoop, whoop. And that just means that's just me. Other people might like people with yeah, I know you're talking about monotone voices, or they're quite stiff, you know, because some people, obviously when you get in front of a camera, it can be quite daunting. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean I have to, me myself, because I'm quite expressional, if you can tell, with my hands and my body language, and my face is very expressional, if you haven't noticed. That isn't just for the camera. I'm like that in real life. Everyone's always said, oh my God, the faces you pull, blah, 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 blah. Because that's how I express. I am an expressional being. I also express in artwork and stuff like that. And I just want to point out, this painting that I've not finished, do you remember the other day talking about the Blu-ray energies, and then you get the orbs that are blue, the energies that are coming in? I knew I'd done a painting with a blue face, and I kept thinking, I've done it with blue hair, where is it? Where is it? And then I was like, it was behind the computer, and I was like, oh yeah, with a star earring. Not finished yet, will get finished at some point, you know what I'm like, but yeah. So just saying, I found it, just to say, I found it. You're like Jack Black, Dolly X. Yeah, I'm expressive, but I've always been like that. It's just me and that. But do you know what I'm saying about like the whole, like I was saying last night, and I think they say it in this chat, it's not somebody you don't hate them, because hate strong word, or you don't like them. It's just the energy you don't resonate with. I have to watch somebody who's quite uplifting, fun, expressional, because it keeps you, well, it keeps you wanting to watch, really, doesn't it? If someone's a bit stiff and a bit like monotone, it's like, why are they not expressing? Are they feared about something? Do they not believe what they're saying? Does anyone get what I'm saying? So personally, me, myself, that's why I'm quite expressional and because we are expressing ourselves through our emotions, and emotion stands for energy in motion. Energy in motion, but we're learning how to get around these energies. Like, you can express yourself in anger. You can express yourself in a loving way. This is what I was saying last night. We can be angry with the past, but we've got to let go. You can have those expressions. We came here to experience those expressions, because the higher we go, let's put it out there, I don't know how to explain it, the higher we go in consciousness and that, or the higher we were in different realms, maybe all the stuff people put out there in the spiritual side, the more less dense you become in the material. Like people say, ascendant beings and all that, whatever floats your boat, is we can't express. We wanted to come in from the divine and experience these expressions. So it's just how you go about it. Like, you can be angry about something. I've been angry about this whole truth movement of the lies that we've been told, but then you sit back and think, and people have seen it, but how do we come with solutions and express it in a more loving, divine way? We don't have to be going around fighting each other. We see a lot of this on YouTube, and expressing that anger in that way. Look at the anger and then think, oh, but how do we change from this? How do we make a solution out of that anger? It's the anger that pushes you to do something. The anger that got me when I first got red pilled, and there's many pills, because this video will show you, it's really good. But when you wake up in anger, we all did, how do you then move on? If you stay in, I've said this before, if you stay in that anger, it will kill you off. So you have the anger, which pushes you to do something, but it's how you go about doing it. Oh, thank you, Double. This is why I needed to come and play this. I wasn't going to come on today, but because now this video came up after us talking about it yesterday, I had to throw it out there. And the reason I have to throw it out there is because some of you might watch this person, and sometimes you'll subscribe, and then you'll go, oh, I've been unsubscribed. I got unsubscribed. I've been unsubscribed from loads of people. Or you can't get a notification because it's YouTube messing about. So I will shout this channel out again. Hi, everybody in chat. I'll shout you all out after. I just need to get this expression. I need to get this out of me. So Please do not. Please go and listen to it. Listen to it. Don't get triggered by someone calling it a planet if you're into the whole what shape we live in. I'm not, that's not the biggest thing. It's more like who are we and what power do we hold against that. They use the word planet. That does not trigger me because all you have to do is knock the T off and it says plane. Some people are not interested in that side of it, so they're not really into like wondering if it's a planet or a plane, whatever. So I'm just saying, don't get triggered because some people will not watch videos because someone said the word planet in it, and it's like, yes, but there might be a lot in there that you resonate with. Doesn't mean the person's not coming from good intentions. You know, depending on whatever truthing community you're in, all the truth communities basically need to unite because they're all looking at the same thing, and it all boils down to us, we the people, and the power that they try to make out was disconnected, the energy, but it actually wasn't. And the energies of Nikola Tesla that I've shouted out and shouted out and shouted out are still here. They still reside in reincarnations of us, the people who feel this love for humanity and the energy they want to put out, and technology that this person goes into. We know this. Technology isn't bad. Technology got used as a weapon. It got weaponized. So when some people talk about maybe Atlantis was the age of, yeah, exactly, Maggie. Maybe the Atlantis was the age of technology and we fell because we got too greedy. It's not because we fell like technology was bad. People got in there, things got in there and weaponized it against we, the people, because it was helping to harmonize, I believe, personally, only my opinion, if you want to say the planet, the realm. I'm going to say all of it because I don't want people in chat getting, if they're not on flat earth or they are on the globe, it doesn't really matter to me. So I'll use all of it. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to be fighting over that. And if that word comes out, so what? It's just saying that it was to help. We can have technologies that help us. But the other side just wanted it to deplete, bring the energies of Earth down, which brings down us down as well. And this is why I'll also say that in chat last night, in Roxanne's chat when we were there, I saw a sneaky little snidey comment. Some people saw it as well and deleted this person. It didn't really matter because it's just someone in low negative energy. So, and I can't see chat right now, so you just all have to talk to each other because I'm spewing this all out. Like, this person said something and they were trying to bring something up on maybe the different size between me and Roxanne. A bit silly, and it was a man. But see, these people who can only spit out vileness and weren't joining in with the conversation of what we were talking about, so shows that they were a troll because they weren't coming in talking about what we were talking about. They were just looking at something else. Are people who their energies are very, very low. And the only reason, as we know, these people come into chats all over the internet and in the real world when they're trying to bring other people down, do it because they know that some people who are a bit, say, weaker in energy will take that and get really upset about it. And they know by getting upset that's bringing your energy down. And that's why people do it. But the people who know how energy works just don't, just ignore it. We're like, and do you think a silly little comment is going to affect my life? No, it's not. It might have done years ago, but it doesn't now. Because when you realise what energy is, and you are energy as well, and how it works, and how people try to bring your energy down by you feeling down. When you're feeling down about something, someone's brought you down on something, and you sit in that energy of feeling down and sad, they're bringing your energy down. They're stealing your energy. But when you're vibrating, that's why they come in when you're vibrating in a high frequency, in a higher vibration of energy, because they can't stand it. They can't stand it. So just throwing that out there, But last night's chat was brilliant. And, it is stuff that me, Roxanne, and 007 I've talked about before. But it was good at the fact that the chat was very good. And it was a long time as well, so you're really good to stay in there. We didn't really have that many people being, different opinions on stuff, but it was a good vibration in there. I personally thought it was. The people who are now in, I know you were in chat last night, did you feel it? Because I did. You could tell there was a difference. Me personally can tell there's a change. And even Roxanne said that last night, you can tell. by even people saying they're just beginning to wake up as well, because it's a journey for everybody and they will wake up at some point at whatever they get into at first. So there's all that going on. So do you remember me saying on my channel, what it is going within yourself and telling yourselves, speaking well to yourselves. If you know about Dr. Emoto, I've done the Dr. Emoto experiment twice on YouTube a couple of years ago. Those that have been with me a long time will know I've done this. So I'm not just getting on the bandwagon or something. I actually do these things and I actually do research. And I don't know if you've noticed, but on a lot of my artwork, last night was my first time with you. I don't agree with everything, but I don't have to agree. I appreciate the other parts. Well, yeah, you know, and everyone's on different bits of what they want to look at. And the thing is, everyone interprets things differently. So like I say, I express myself the way I understand it. It might not resonate with some other people. They might go to another channel and they'll be expressing it in the way they understand it, maybe more of a more intellectual way. It's still the same thing. It's just how you understand it. So it's all good at the end of the day. So say like, so let me get a bag out. Right. Most of you have seen some of the bags that I do, but say like this, for example, this bag, right? See all the eyes? See all the eyes? I've said talk to yourselves. Yourself is yourselves. Now, what you're going to hear this guy say about eyes is brilliant and makes me laugh, because in my book of art, this is the one I did last night. There's another picture, because you'll understand what I'm talking about eyes in a minute. We all know about the pineal gland and the third eye. Hi, Ricardo, but there was... Oh, which one was it? Just let me find the picture of the tree. Because it's going to make sense in a minute. Hang on a minute. If I can get up. I can find it. Where is it? 1 minute. Right. She's lost it. Right, I can't show you the book because... Hi, Tapper. I can't show you the book because, oh, it's right in front of my face. Hang on a minute. Right. Do you remember this picture I drew the other day? I was at college the other day drawing that. And then, the other day, I showed it on YouTube. I was drawing this tree. And it's got different eyes in it. It's got little eyes up here, eyes here, eyes here. And it was called the Core Heart Centre because we are all like a tree. Like I said before, that's our core, is your heart. And we all branch off in many different areas. This is why I say you can resonate with certain people, but we all basically come from the core. But the eyes, I'm not going to tell you, you're going to listen to this video in a minute and you'll understand about the eyes. People get freaked out by the all-seeing eye and this, that and the other. It's just ridiculous. And I did see somebody say last night in Roxanne's channel, they put laugh out loud, which I was like... Oh my God, so I think they were joking. But there are people that see my tattoo, wrong arm, and get freaked out by it because they were shouting out, is that MK Ultra? And this is what it's like with thank you, Mr. Will. This is what it's like with people. I mean, that person I hope was joking, because that's how people go researching, learn about MK Ultra, monarch butterflies. It's not a monarch butterfly anyway. And then they see everyone with like a tattoo of a butterfly and think they've been monarch brainwashed. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, it's nothing to do with that. It's a tattoo that I got, and it's actually to do with Mother Earth. This is my representation of Gaia in a womanly form. Interpretation, where people get all mixed up. So just want to put that out there to that person. I hope you were joking, and if you weren't, there's your answer. It's like, dearie me, people need to stop getting so paranoid. So so I'm going to go into this video because, like I said, you'll understand why I'm talking about eyes, and maybe that's why I've constantly been drawing eyeballs, because to me, all the eyes stand for consciousness awareness. They all see an eye consciousness awareness, but all of us together is the new rising of consciousness of everybody, every being and everything that ever was. But David Ickish, but whether you like him or not, what he does say, some of it does resonate. Don't know what side he stands on, but it is true what he's saying about the consciousness. So to me, the eyes are a representation of consciousness. Some people think it's a representation of the Masons and satanical. Yeah, they do use certain symbols. Like I said, they were our symbols to start off with. So just saying. Thanks for sharing that. I did not know. Yeah, so you know what I mean? Yeah, the world's watching, exactly. Eyes. You have your third eye as well. But what this guy says about eyes is really interesting, and it makes me look back into my artwork, which I will be interjecting through this video because we're just going to listen to it. I just want you to listen. I don't want you to get triggered by the words like planet and that. Like I said, knock the tea off and it's playing. Oh, the real Donald Trump was watching last night. It was ace. So before I go into it, I just want to show you a couple of things that I bought the other day that I thought some of you might like. I got some, it's not a dear one, I wanted a proper one, but it's the only one they had in the shop until I can afford to get a nice one for myself off somewhere. It was a super green tea, matcha, I can never say it, matcha, I don't know if I've said it right. I wanted one with mushrooms in it because you can get a matcha green tea on eBay in a tin, and I thought, oh yeah, I saw someone talking about it and I thought, because mushrooms are really good for you. I don't just mean the psychedelic ones, I mean eating. I do eat a lot of mushrooms that you have for your breakfast and stuff like that. So I got this. Yeah, fairy magic. I know. I do drink green tea, and this is a Tetley one, and it's the only one they had. They didn't have any I'm not saying this isn't like real. I'm just saying there's one that I've got my eye on, and it's a tin, and it's got mushrooms in with it. This one's got blackberries in it, I think. But it's a dear one, but I'm only thinking of, it's just for me. My kids don't drink it, so it's okay. But this is green tea and blueberries. So I just thought, ooh, that sounds a bit nice, And then I got another one. I do make my own blends of loose tea, and I have got chamomile in, but I just saw these and thought, you know what? They look really pretty. We Are Tea Sleep with chamomile and lavender, which I do have chamomile in, and I have my own lavender in a glass bottle. So I do it myself, but I just saw these and thought they were quite sweet. And they look like this. And I do have rose petals and that. Like I said, I can make my own, but I just thought, I'll just treat myself. Because I am running low on my stock anyway, so I've still got to get some. But can you see? Oh, it smells so nice. Can you see the herbs and the flowers? Roses and chamomile and lavender. And these are going to be the tea that I have at night time before I go to sleep, because it's a calming sleep tea. And this make tea, We Are Tea, do different ones for different things. So yeah. Yeah, you can make your dream pillow. I actually have an organza bag with lavender and stuff in it hanging at the side of my bed. And sometimes I smell it. And I do use essential oils. And I do put lavender essential oil on my pillows. at night. Oh yeah, Tap has just reminded me there is Tom McDonald Trying to Kill Me new song that's come out. Please check it out. I can't play it obviously, but it is ace. I was supposed to shout out Tom McDonald ages ago because he is like a truth rapper. He's not one of these crap rappers that talks about women and stuff like that. He is really, really, really good. And he did one talking about Trump supporters, you know, saying like, yeah, just go and check him out. You don't have to be into rap to listen to it. It's just the actual message that he's putting behind it. So let's get going. Just let me put my stuff back in. I've still got to do my elephant. I'm going to try and get it done today. Elephant. And it blinks back at me. Well, yeah. I see a lot of blue in my third eye. Blue. It's like a blue eye. So I think that was that for that. And then this fell off the table. And then my son's. But like I said, everyone can be the Dynamo effect. I got these for him for Christmas. You can be the one Dynamo, but when you fall down, you can affect a lot of people around you. Just saying. Right, so let's go. Let's get this video going. Right, I'm going to have to play this on my phone. Hi. So we're going to listen to this. We're not going to get triggered by certain words or certain beliefs. Just listen. Because it really linked into what we were saying last night. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I was on Roxanne the Globalist and I's channel last night. And we talked about a lot for over 4 hours because Roxanne hasn't been on for a bit and it was just like blah, blah, blah. And you know what us two girls are like when we get together. So let me just find this. Tapper's putting a lot out in the live chat, so check it out. So this is a guy, I've gone over to his channel and subscribed because his message, see, it's not what necessarily if you're getting triggered by words, it's the message of what they're trying to put out. So it is, so let me find it. And even what Dave was saying last night in chat, the lovely Dave. Oh, hang on. Where is it? Right. So, I don't think I listened to the last couple of minutes, but let me just get it back to the beginning. Right. It is the lovely Laura Eisenhower with Fernando, I think it's Vosser, and Tapper has put it in live chat. So we're going to listen to this. I've always give this lady a shout out because she does interesting videos herself and she interviews interesting people with solutions. And the thing is, that's what we need. We don't need people playing ping pong, back and forth, 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 gatekeepers. We need solutions. So this is why I love this woman. I'm not interested in people who don't like the channel or don't believe in certain stuff. We're talking about the message of solutions. So this guy was brilliant. So I'm just going to show you what he looks like. He has got a channel. I think it's over an hour or whatever, but just listen to it. We're going to listen to it here and I'm going to interject on it. And then I'm just going to put it down and listen to it. So let me switch it up.
Hello, everybody. It's Laura Eisenhower. I'm so excited to have this guest, Fernando Vosser, with me. I have known him for quite a number of years. Actually, we did a conference together in 2011 in South Africa.
And can I just interject out there for the people who might have something to say? I didn't know. I've just been speaking to allegedly Dave. I think that's right. Is it allegedly Dave? On Facebook in Messenger, and I said, "Oh, have you seen this video? Because it's what we were going on about sustainable living last night." And he was talking about that, if anyone noticed. And he said, "Oh, I haven't seen this one, but I've actually met this guy," I think he said a few years ago, at a meetup somewhere in America talking about this sort of stuff. So I didn't know that. But he hasn't seen this video and he's going to check it out. So I was like, see, great minds think alike. So there you go. Just wanted to put that out there.
Michael Tellinger. And I was always blown away. I mean, I've been following him for years since, and just always blown away with his inventions, creations, his art, everything that he has to bring to the table. And been meaning to get him on the show. So thank you so much for joining me.
Laura, it's amazing to open up this new chapter in 2020. You know, we're talking something of a relationship all the way back to late 2011, early 2012. At that time, we occupied Adam's Calendar with Michael Tellinger. We had Carrie Cassidy, the whole Project Camelot group, William Brown, Alf.
Project Camelot. Whoop, whoop. I didn't even hear that at the beginning. Did anyone hear that? If you know what Project Camelot is, did you hear that, Taps?
Weber, and Lloyd Pye, who's no longer with us. And at that time, you remember we were connecting with the Anunnaki energy, the origins of that.
Did you hear what he said? We've all looked into Anunnaki, this, that, and the other. Anunnaki energy. Anything that was before, like David Icke says, everything that ever was and ever will be, the energy is still here. And we can tap into that energy. So this is why we're going to listen to it. This is what I've been trying to get out to people. But he's done it in a really great way. So that's why I say don't get triggered, just listen. It is the energy of Nikola Tesla, reincarnated in ourselves. It's everything's energy, everything's to do with energy. So let's listen to it.
Of the human story. What happened with humanity 200,000 years ago? That's really an opener, because now in what's happening next on the planet that we're going to talk about, focusing on solutions. What is next? We already know about these disclosures, secret space programs, covert operations, cabals. All right, what are we going to do with that knowledge?
Hi, Munch.
Exactly. Yes. So I want to just introduce your bio so that people know what you're all about, because this is exactly what you bring to the table, and it's so incredibly important. Fernando Vasa is a biofuturist para-healer. He's an archivist, a free energy researcher, a consciousness scientist,
Free energy researcher. And what was that?
healing technologies.
Listen to that again.
Just your bio so that people know what you're all about, because this is exactly what you bring to the table, and it's so incredibly important. Fernando Vasa is a biofuturist para-healer. He's an archivist, a free energy researcher.
An activist. I can't say, like an activist. An archivist. I thought, I'm one of them. But he's making models, which you will see.
A consciousness scientist, a healing.
A consciousness scientist, yes. This is where the science needs to come into the spiritual, merging together.
Technologies, human origins investigator, and exopolitics ambassador, and also planetary liberator. And it's, you guys are just going to love this, because this is, I mean, real solutions. I mean, we're talking like physical manifestations of some really high level technologies that are in harmony with nature. So Vasa incorporates a series.
Technologies that are in harmony with nature. We can have technology that's in harmony with nature, but they weaponized it. And that's where people get all triggered and everything.
Accelerated learning protocols, DNA activation, and whole body immersion technologies for kids of all ages to learn universal concepts of free energy, peace for humanity, human potential, healing. Free
energy for everybody. That is why a few years ago Trump said we need clean air and clean water, and I've got lots of energy. Don't look at who was he talking about, Bernie Sanders or Biden. They haven't got a lot of energy, because he knows about energy, hence the Nikola Tesla thing. But we've all got free energy. It's all within.
Infinite creativity and personal empowerment tools to transform our planet with love and compassion.
Personal empowerment tools.
These are called engines of mass creation. This conscious.
Did you hear that? Engines of mass creation, not engines of mass destruction, because that's what they've been trying to do. Engines of mass creation. Oh, yes.
Business pioneer is an independent bioarchitect,
I feed into scientist,
inventor, healer, and fine artist. In 2013, he focused on developing a sustainable dome called the Vasa.
Sustainable dome for healing and living in and connecting to the divine. This is what he's going to talk about. We were talking about sustainable living yesterday. You can make eco patterns of this. This guy is an architect and he's ace. Yeah,
Hedron.
exactly.
The Vasa Hedron project is an integration of approaches integrating coherent magnetic field.
Wait till you see the shape. And it's what I was talking last night in this book. Do you remember me shouting this book out last night? The ones out there for the dark side who don't believe in a creator want us to take us away and disconnect us. We're not disconnected. And they say that we just came from a big bang and nothing's created. And I held up this book yesterday and went, everything in nature is divinely created. This didn't just come out of nothing. And one of the pictures, which is relevant, that I showed was... let me find it. Let me just see if I can find it because it makes sense. Well, I don't know where it was, but hence, I mean, this is a pattern in nature in a plant. I mean, I'm sorry, can anyone see what I can see? Can anyone see what I can see? This plant in the middle, drawn, can you see the star? Can you see, like, the geometric patterns? Because that's what nature is, and that's what source is, and source is nature, and nature is source, and God is everything, or source is everything. So I'm just saying, see the star shape, see the star. So it's real, but you'll get what I mean when I show you the shape that he holds up of the dome.
Plasma constructs, harmonic frequencies, and Atlantean crystal grids to establish a sonic architecture that regenerates our body at the cellular level. It expands our mental...
The cellular level, as I said, yeah, for Benici, as I said yesterday, and I've been saying for quite a long time, be good to your cells, your cellular structure in yourself. You've got a universe going on within yourself, and there's one going on outside. But to talk to your cells and communicate and stop disconnecting from them, you can regenerate yourself. So, to me, I believe that is what's going on. And I'd rather feed into that and give my energy to that sort of, what would you say, blue print that's going on, rather than feeding into the negativity of the mainstream media and all the crap they put out. This is the one I showed, see? Stars in nature. See? Divinely created. That weren't just all put together in a big mishmash of like there's no source and there's no creator. I'm sorry, but the art forms in nature are geometric shapes, and that's what's all out there. So that's what the divine is.
Capabilities and connects us with higher spiritual awareness. Voss's approach is through biomimicry principles refined from the study of cactus in Baja California and the practice of sacred geometry found in ancient sites across the world. There's a lot more.
Found in ancient sites across the world, ancient geometry. Geometry, I can't say the word, is in the heavens above as well. Everything's sacred geometry, everything. It's in nature, it's everywhere.
To share about his bio, but I'm going to put it in the descriptions with some
links. But
my gosh, I mean,
world is math, exactly, but they don't teach us the right stuff at school.
I didn't know where to begin. I mean, were you noticing that your mind works this way from a young age?
This really occurred way back in elementary school and really right out of the womb. The first thing I'm going to mention for those who can identify with this.
Right out of the womb, like I said last night, many people fighting out there and many men going on at women, and they came from the womb. You know, just saying.
I call this birth by lightning. The more complicated your entry into this world, your birth process, whether it was by trauma, cesarean, abuse, abandonment, whatever those things that we experience, I consider that birth by lightning the spark.
And listen to what he says about your birth, if you came in through trauma, abuse and all that. I've been saying this, of letting go.
Training to be here on earth. And that happened to me, and possibly you and many others. Because our conditioning to be here in this density began way back, even in the womb and before. By the time I reached 8 years old, my father had moved us from Mexico, I didn't even speak any English, all the way to Alaska. And we lived near the military base there Fort Richardson and Elmendorf Air Force Base, which we now know has a lot of advanced black technology there, UFO sightings, all of that. At that time, I left my elementary school closer to Christmas at night and got lost near the military base in the forest, thinking I was reaching my neighborhood. And the temperature dropped at night. I wasn't very well dressed. And I felt like I just wanted to leave the earth. My life at that time, at that little boy, was so complicated. I asked to leave this planet. I just wanted to go. But then a voice reached out to me, an energy surrounded me and said, "We are you. You are us. Let us show you more of who you and we are." It's a telepathic communication. I left my body. I could see the earth getting smaller away from me. And imagine that I was still very conscious. I didn't know I was in my physical body.
Sorry, I can't rotate my
We went through the
thing.
sun toward that galactic stargate that is not a ball of fire. Anyway, that's the beginning of a journey through the cosmos. I went through the center of the galaxy and I was taken to an area of space where it was revealed to me a giant galaxy of color and light. You know, we talk about the Milky Way having a couple 100 billion stars and our neighboring Andromeda, 1 trillion stars. There are galaxies much larger. And I was told this is as close as we can come to show you what each human on Earth is, a galaxy of presence. A multi-dimensional being of light gets compressed into a little singularity that gets seated in our mother during birth. So at that age, I was shown my whole birth process. The molecular assembly and cellular mitosis of my own body was shown in front of me and saying, this is how you came into the world, and we're never going to be without you anymore. So this is the fountain I feed from as early childhood. How's that? And then you come back and, you know, my friends were into hockey and to who knows what, but they weren't into the kind of things that many of us experienced, the first waivers, right? So here we are, 55 years
The first waivers. We've talked about waivers. The waivers.
later, you know, after that birth and all that awakening.
Gosh, when were you able to put it in practical application? You know, when were you able to begin to design things and begin sort of your path as an artist, and how just, I don't know, this incredible integration of all sorts of levels of being came into just the physical domain in such a kind of tangible way?
Well, we know that there's this interesting awakening phenomena that occurs when you experience trauma in your life. Sometimes it's a heart attack.
We all know, did you hear what he said? An awakening with trauma. We all know out of some sort of trauma, you will awaken. And I just want to say why it's in my head. And this is no disrespect to when Roxanne said it last night, or anyone else that says it, but I think Roxanne said something about, you know, when people go on about facts, well, we need to put the facts with something or other. Yeah, there are facts, but there are actual things out there that you'll never actually get the proper facts on. To me, it's not fact finding, even though I'll say a matter of fact, this is true. This sounds really funny, is sometimes you will find facts and evidence on stuff. And some things, this is a fact, but this just makes me laugh. Sometimes it's just a knowing. People say, well, I want the facts, because there's a lot of men out there, because it is normally a lot of men that do this, you know. I want the facts, because a lot of people that have come to me going on like trolls, I want the facts, I want the evidence. Sometimes there's just things out there that you'll never get to be able to sort of get the actual proper deep down facts on it, or maybe to be able to express it. You'll just understand it, and it is just a knowing. Like a lot of this stuff, people say, how do you know? Have you got the... No, I haven't got I haven't got a book of a big manual of all the flipping evidence in it. It's just I have a knowing that the world is ascending and we are winning in the light, no matter what's been projected out there from the other side. It's just a knowing. And I know of this because it's a feeling. It's a frequency that you can feel. I know there's a lot of people worldwide, many people, millions, that feel the same thing. It's just a knowing. It's a remembering of it. I can't even explain it, but I know people in chat will resonate with it because I know you'll understand in a stand. Yeah, intuition, thank you. What I'm talking about. You can't put facts on intuition. So when people say we need to find the facts of everything, some things you're not going to find, and just because you can't have the facts in black and white in front of you, doesn't mean that thing's not true. It's a bit like when I go on about orbs and stuff like that, and some people don't see it and they'll pass it off as dust. It is real. It's an energy form. The spirit, I don't know if it's spirit, it's all spirits of everything that ever was, but I know it's an energy form that's coming in. I know they're coming in. I know there's a higher thing going on with it. There's different colours. There's the chakra colours, funny enough that, chakra colours. It's all interconnected with everything. Yeah, clairsentient. There's all that stuff. So some people won't understand because, as I said yesterday, the people who don't focus on it are not looking at it, so they won't get in line because they're not in tune into it. Doesn't mean they're wrong or right, but sometimes when people say facts, that doesn't always bother me with someone going, oh, well, have you seen this? Is this facts? Where are yours? There's a lot of it that is a knowing and it's intuitive. And like I said the other day, I'll just get it and read it out. So there's not always going to be facts and figures on absolutely everything because it's not how it works. But we will find a lot on stuff, but I see a lot of people going on in communities on YouTube, back and forth, fighting. I want the facts, I want this and that. Some of it you're not going to get. And that doesn't mean it's not real, just because you can't. It's just a knowing. Yeah, gnostic, I can never say that word exactly. So on this other, the spiritual side of the Q map, it says, return to source. I'm going to read this out after as well. Enlightenment. Mystery of the universal creation. It is said that the creation of the universe will always remain a secret. I'm fine with that. We're getting to know bits about it because it is the year of information. But I'm okay with that. Some people aren't. They have to know the ins and outs of everything. I think there's a reason why we don't have to know the ins and outs of everything of that. Because if the dark side got into that, it would be destroyed. But it can't be because we're not supposed to know. That's how I see it anyway. So I'm going to carry on.
Coma, a death in the family, just a kind of struggle that
yes, fairy
disconnects
magic.
one from reality in a way where you see the edge of the matrix. So that happened to me at that stage in my childhood. I did a report for...
Hang on 1 minute, I've missed something else. I forgot to put my necklace on because he will bring this up now. I normally always have my jewellery on. Very magical like this. I have a little fairy. And I also have this. Some people who are highly religious get triggered by this. Sacred geometry. Earth, air, fire and water, the elements. The point is the ether, spiritual. You know, but the guy's going to sort of mention this, so I just thought I'd put that out and I thought, oh yeah, where's my necklace? So there you go.
Science fair, not long after that, on Area 51 and the Roswell crash. You know, this is in the 70s. Go try and find a book in a library. I had to go dig and ask for permission as a little boy. This is like a movie scene. And I remember seeing my display with the pictures of the crash and the fake articles, that whole thing. And your great-grandfather was mentioned in this. How crazy is that? How would I know this to talk? So when I did this...
He's talking about when he was a child and certain things that came in and he was trying to tell his teachers at school and they were like, what?
Cool. That was really one of those first disclosure things that I did. And during my presentation, you know, some of the other kids, not to be mean, but I saw like a bean sprout and a plant. And here I am with a display to talk about UFOs and alien presence. And I said to the class,
presence.
I can communicate with these UFOs. I can talk to them. So it was sent to the principal World's office after that, because we're not allowed to talk that way. And that's when that craziness started in my life. I was to join programs that now I learned later
The line
were,
was very good. You said you were recruited to join programs.
yes, not like somebody invited me. I was taken aside at school after the principal reported my results in intelligence tests, and strangers would come to my school and talk about and ask me about things, you know. They would show me the psychic cards and that whole nonsense. I mean, I'm not disrespecting that. What I'm saying is that early on there was intervention in many of our lives we were not aware of. During that time, I started knowing that there was a way to open portals in the forest, that one could walk in certain parts, because we lived
Portals. I think the sun's a portal.
in Anchorage, which was near the forest, right? 1-2 blocks away, then it's just open wilderness. And it's like a playland. I realized that there were elemental creatures there that I could talk to in the forest. You realize that, is everybody seeing this?
Elementals in the forest. Elementals. Do you remember when I was in the forest? And if anyone remembers, a bit back, you'd have to search through my orbs. I got a green orb in the forest and I got an orb coming out of a tree. So all energies of consciousness, elementals and everything. To me, orbs are that cellular, molecular, I can't say the word. It's all energy. It's everything we are. And it's all trying to communicate with us all the time.
So I started lucid dreaming. And that's where I would visit other planets. I would visit beings in my dreams. And then I have to wake up and talk to my teachers and do homework. And it was, I suffer from two things back then, you know. I call it spiritual dyslexia. Everything that is presented to me, I saw completely inverted. The inversion matrices became clear to me. And the second thing I suffered from is spiritual schizophrenia, meaning my family was Catholic. My friends were, you know, all these different, nobody saw what I was seeing. And that isolation, that loneliness became a story for a while. I mean, it's no longer part of the formula, but it was back then. That invokes creativity. It really calls in critical thinking. When I realized that my body could do a lot more at a young age, including breaking the bounds of physics in my dreams, like practicing to be invisible, walking through walls. Lucid dreamers, we have this language. I thought everybody had it. No, I realized nobody had it. I didn't have any consciousness friends growing up. I didn't have
We do now.
cosmic conversations with anyone. So the first set of technologies that started coming through me came when I got into computers in high school, studying artificial intelligence. This was in 1980. Barely the personal computer had come out. You remember that?
Sorry, I just saw Fairy Magic say you can make oracle cards. I know everyone said that. I might do at some point. It'd take me time. I might just make my own to read out. You know what I mean? You were asking yesterday what cards these were in Roxanne's chat, and they are Work Your Light oracle cards. I got these for my birthday, but I have been using them. My birthday's next week, but yeah, they're beautiful. I will read these out at the end. I'll do a pull today, and the universe has your back. Oh yes. Yeah, sorry. Yes, thank you, Tapper, for noticing. I just said at the beginning, the blue people. You remember when I was looking? I just said at the beginning. Do you remember when I was looking for the painting? I was like, I'm sure I've painted a blue being somewhere, and I can't remember. That was it. It was down the side of the computer, and I was like, I've not finished it, but I was like, I've drawn her. Oh yeah, the blue people. That just came out of my consciousness. So just saying.
Movie Tron that came
Tron.
out. I thought that was what I wanted to live. That was like, I want to go inside the silicon in the computer chips and live in that world. I didn't realize later that how dangerous that was, artificial intelligence. But that's when I realized what control those computers were going to have over us. So by the time the personal computer came out, I was already studying how to produce neural networks, expert systems, visual perception, voice recognition. So by the time I went to college, I studied astrophysics at University of Hawaii and got into artificial intelligence. I thought that was the leading edge of the future, but it wasn't. So I decided to jump out of that world. By the time I went to college again at the University of Washington in Seattle to study, a whole different question. So imagine this, Laura. This is an opener. Imagine going to a school asking, how are we doing this? How are we building this reality? Is this built environment happening? Where are we reading from? So imagine my advisory committee trying to deal with me asking that, right? So I had to invent my own program, my own degree, my own direction. And that's another aspect of triggering DNA in our bodies that's going to give us deeper answers. I'm sure you've experienced this too, right? So when we are learning new material, I hadn't really gotten into the esoteric awakening anything yet.
Esoteric.
That happened later, after 9/11. After that, in 2001, is when I decided to dedicate my life to building technology to save this.
I'm going to show you it.
Planetary liberation solutions. You know, this is after an entire career and an entire decade or so of focused awakening, exploding into consciousness, metaphysics, all of that. By 2012, when I met you, I was speaking at the Global Breakthrough Energy Movement on free energy. I was interacting with Professor John Searle and the Searle Effects Generator team, Jason Verbelli and Fernando Morris. That's when my brain awakened. Because at the same time, I had studied healing, Reiki, and working with energy and crystals and all that, and I decided to unite those two. And this is what we're going to talk more about today. What is it like when we have heart-centered intention and it's expressed?
When we have heart-centered intentions, that's what I've always said, it comes from the heart. Yes, you can make turmeric in almond milk. I've got turmeric, I can never say that. It's really, really nice with a bit of honey, and it's really, really, really nice. I just saw that in chat.
In technology for planetary liberation. How does that feel?
Oh, incredible. So, okay, so
And I'd just say earth liberation. I don't get triggered by that, so you know.
you had a bit of a background in the AI. Did you notice that whole kind of mimicry of what our organic potential is? And then you were able to kind
Organic potential.
of see the connection of where we can do it in a non-dangerous way. I mean, where is the AI almost like a mimic of what we carry within ourselves that is like latent potential or dormant abilities?
The first discernment that occurs
Dormant abilities. We've all got the ability, they've just been lying dormant.
is to tell the difference between AI, cybernetics, the approach of digitizing everything into ones and zeros. That's a polarization of reality. And distinguishing that from natural intelligence, the universal law of love and compassion. Two
Law of
different
love.
approaches.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in love. I can honestly say I was really seduced by artificial intelligence as a potential solution, right? But I realized that it had no trajectory. It had no direction. It wasn't going to solve anything because the AI transhumanists are really going into creating consciousness out of artificial rules based on control. And those two are an oxymoron. It cannot happen. Consciousness.
While we're just listening, because I'm going to show you when he shows you the dome. I'll just be flashing a bit of my cards, my, birthday cards and stuff that I make, just so you've got something to look at as well.
Is an energy that has its own physics and it has its own laws like gravity and magnetism. And when we studied physics in school, we're still in an AI way trying to dissect nature into these little active ingredients and little phenomena that we think that we can synthesize, create a product and create an industry out of.
These will all be going up on Instagram this week.
That whole process is a weapon. I'll show you how deep this goes. I have described this before. When you're in school and you're learning the table of elements up on the wall in chemistry, and they say everything's made up of this, I told my teacher, no, it isn't. Imagine little Fernando. Where's love up there? Where are dreams up in there on that wall? Where is your love of your mom there? Is that made up of any of these? No, that world that is about, I told my teacher, doesn't describe my reality. So let's go into natural intelligence for a moment. That's what's inside of us. The first discernment is to know that natural intelligence is analog. It is light, it is sound, it is magnetism, the absolute force.
Light, sound, magnetism, whoop, 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 whoop. Frequency, energy, frequency, and vibration.
So air, fire, earth, plasma, and so forth.
Air, earth, fire, water, plasma, you know, the ether, whatever. This is what this stands for.
They are infinite bandwidth. They are quantum speed things. These cannot be stored in a chip. As a rainbow that you see is natural phenomena that is analog, and it comes from a different source. As soon as someone can learn how to tell the difference, you'll be able to read the matrix like it's laughable. You'll be able to see the constructs and say, this is a tin can with a string that we're being fooled by, right? There's no computer on earth that can contain what happens in the human body or in our emotional state.
Listen to what you just said then. There's no computer on earth. Listen to that again, because this is where I said when people go on about facts, that there's no computer on earth. Let's listen to that again.
Or in life. As soon as someone can learn how to tell the difference, you'll be able to read the matrix like it's laughable. You'll be able to see the constructs and say, this is a tin can with a string that we're being fooled by, right? There's no computer on earth that can contain what happens in the human body or in our emotional states or in light or in sound, not yet. But that's what we're going to build with the Vocahedron.
Oh, I can't wait to ask you about that. How would you describe junk DNA and sort of just how we've been kept from maybe the truth of what that really is?
Oh, you had me at DNA. Let's just disclose something really fast. Between the digital AI version of DNA, the acronym DNA describes the chemistry, the amino acids. I don't remember exactly what the word is, dinucleic ribose acid, whatever. That does not describe what it is. We see DNA as these acids running around in our cells, forming these molecular bonds and blah, blah, blah. We think the Human Genome Project is going to discover how to make a human from knowing the sequencing of all these amino acids. What we don't deal with is that junk DNA, the quantum energetic strands.
Quantum.
That connect us to creator source, the templates of humanity.
Quantum.
How to make a flower and all that are not in the sequencing. They are in the sound, the dance, the orchestra at different harmonics that are coming from the womb, the cosmic womb.
Cosmic
from
womb.
Creator source.
Creator source.
So there's a better term, and right this moment I can't remember the gentleman's name who put that out there in his book. Let's think of DNA as the master ancestor. The connection to all that we are, not just here on earth, but everywhere in creation, right? And work with the understanding that our DNA or our master ancestor, that construct in it has packaging of energy states that remind us we are not going to study physics as a separate thing, magnetism and light and gravity. We are that. We are the physics of reality. And
we are the physics of reality. So when people start arguing about this and that, it's we are the physics of reality.
Those forces are our ancestors. Magnetism is a loving entity.
The forces are the ancestors. It's everything.
That wants to heal and regenerate.
Magnetism.
And those forces are our ancestors. Magnetism is a loving entity that wants to heal and regenerate us. Electricity itself is an ancestral being who would love to embrace us,
Electricity, free energy, Tesla.
not be a weapon like we find in our light sockets in our house. That's not what electricity wants to do. Those crystals in our computers that are attached to a circuit board, they are enslaved to keep time. But if you release a crystal, it wants to heal us. It wants to regenerate us. It wants to connect. Our DNA is all that stuff. The junk DNA is the most interesting part of what scientists could study. You know, my friends over at the Large Hadron Collider could understand better what God is or understand better what creation is if they studied the magnetic fields in their
Because that's what they were looking for. And I know loads of people going about that, and it's not about that.
cameras more than trying to clash particles against each other, right?
Right.
So yes, DNA is also a sense organ. Let me describe that a little bit better. Like our eyes and our ears and our skin, it is a mechanism for a soul to embody life, to experience dimensions. DNA is one of our organs. It's our skin. It is an energetic set of sensors that interact between dimensions. And we've just barely opened the door on what that means. And let's expand one of our senses just for fun. We recognize that we have two eyes receiving light information. We forget that every single cell in our body is a photoreceptor. It is an eye. We have 1 trillion eyes running through our body.
Photoreceptor. And what I was trying to say was, what goes back to one of my drawings is, when I drew this tree the other day, it's because I was looking out while I was in the playground at school, picking my little one up, looking at a tree, while everyone else was yakking about the muggle crap. I'm looking at the tree, and if you ever seen notches on a tree, they look like eyes. Like everything's watching, everything's aware. That's why I drew the tree with the eyes. But we are like a tree, core, off branches. We have many eyes. Like he's talking here, I can't explain, but he explains it very well.
In our muscles, in our skin, and they're watching, experiencing reality. Imagine
They're watching, experience reality. That's why you've got to focus on good stuff and so on and so forth.
file, if you want to say, the computer file that would store the vision of 1 trillion eyes running throughout your whole body. Through this skin,
Because I'm sick of people going on about technology and it's a matrix, as in everything's just this and everything's just that because it's a big computer. Yeah, but there's two. There's an organic one which we all come from, and that's the real one that they were trying to take as part one in their man-made synthetic one, whatever you want to call it. So when people talk about that, I'm like, well, you focus on that one because that goes off into the New World Order and everything. I'm not part of that. I'm a part of the organic quantum computing system, if you want to say it like that. If anyone understands what I'm waffling on about.
looking at reality. How many of us are there in one body? There's an entire universal galaxy in one body. If we want to study DNA,
Universal galaxy going on within your own body and out. So yes, there's multiple universes going on. That's why it's got a U in it. Universe, one, same symphony, but many verses of that symphony. We all play a different instrument in that symphony, but it's all the same. It's all connected.
let's open that up. Because when we start eating to feed that microorganism system in our body as our
That's why we've got to try and eat well and drink well and look at what you're actually putting into your body, because yes, there are organic good things out there, and we all do know as well that they try to get in those systems as well, but it is about your body as a temple and all that, what you're feeding your universe, your organs and things like that. Organs an instrument as well, isn't it? A musical one out there, but it within as well.
loving tribe, things will happen, right? It's going to start opening. If we started interacting with the neural networks in this brain and in this brain in our heart and in the digestive brain and united them, created unity consciousness.
Which is what's happening.
a relationship with ourselves so that we created a peaceful body planet. That's the secret to peace on earth.
Yes.
You know, if we had leaders that had made peace with the cells in their body, it'd be a different level.
If we had leaders that made peace with their inner selves of their bodies, we'd have peace on earth. But because a lot of these leaders in the past have not found inner peace, like a lot of people out there and on YouTube who just want to play ping pong and fight against people because they haven't found inner peace within themselves. And that's why, hence, I said someone that came in last night trying to bring it down a bit, because they haven't found peace within themselves. Therefore, they have to come out with silly comments and go around trying to lower the vibration everywhere.
Leadership in this planet.
Yes.
Are we breaking some bounds now? Are we getting in there?
Oh gosh, I know I could talk to you for so long. This is just so amazing to me, and everybody I know who's listening and who's ever come across your path. So when you see human history and galactic history going from these advanced civilizations to where we are now and to where we're heading, and the kind of technology.
Because to me, we have, down below, we have our history on Earth, and then we have the cosmic history, and it's all connected. That's how I see it.
Technologies that you're producing in architecture and art, is that sort of a return to those kind of technologies, or is this a new thing? And I don't want to ask too many questions in one question, so let me just start with that one.
That's all right. We talk at that speed. It's good. Most people, when they say, I feel like I'm not grounded, we are taught maybe in the Vedic traditions with the chakra systems to ground ourselves to the earth. But what if the earth at the moment is a chaotic war planet that is contaminated at so many levels? What if we learn to ground up and ground forward into the future? This means connect with the possibility of your future ancestry, so you are having a direct conversation with yourself in the future, 1,000 years from now, 1,000,000 years from now. That's where I'm feeding from. This information I'm sharing is the wisdom of the conversation with having a vision of 1,000,000 years from now. I'm designing a house, the Vocahedron structure, to last 1,000 years. What kind of crazy person would design a structure, a house, to last that long? Well, I am projecting my footprint, my presence in this planet to at least be that much. It takes about 1,000 years.
See, that's a big thing. He said he's projecting his footprint, his presence into this realm. Like when you pass over to a different form of energy, what presence are you going to leave? Because there's many people out there, like I said, in a lower vibing energy, and that's just the way I understand it. When they pass, die, whatever, when their funeral comes up, they're passing to another form of energy. What are they leaving in this realm? What negativity and fighting, and you just brought people down. People aren't going to remember you. They might go to your funeral and cry and sort of maybe say some things, but they're not going to say a lot, because you're going to be forgotten about. The people who get remembered, especially big people who make big things like Tesla and that, but I'm not even talking about that. Even normal people say today, you get remembered for what you brought in and the presence you left on this realm. 17 in the house there. That's what it's saying on my side. Whoop, whoop. So, and 18 now. Junior's in. What presence are you leaving? Do you want to leave shittiness in this realm? Is that the presence you want to leave? No one's going to remember you for the horrible stuff you've done. You only really get remembered for the great stuff that you did, the good stuff. So that's how I see it. What presence do you want to leave when you go pass over to another form of energy? That's what I'd say. What do you want people saying at your celebration of life? Just want to put it out there. There was a girl at college the other day who'd been to a funeral. She had pink nails on. The person who passed over was somebody's grandma. She wanted everyone to wear pink. She didn't want them to wear black. That's what I want. I want everyone wearing every colours of the rainbow. I don't want black. It's depressing. It's suppressing. It's a celebration of life. I know it's hard sometimes depending on the circumstances the body went in. We do go over to another form of energy. But can we not celebrate the life they had? So I thought that was quite beautiful. And it's like I said, what do you want to be remembered for the presence you brought? because no one's going to remember the shit that you left and the nasty ass person you were. Or maybe many people won't turn up to celebrate your life because you weren't bringing much to the footprint to leave for the next generations. Just saying. That's how I see it.
Years of growth. Just go back into scripture and see who
Exactly,
lived that long.
Revler.
To reach a
Revel.
level of consciousness, to be able to go through the solar stargate and ascend as many civilizations have already done. The ancient cosmic Maya ascended. Many of the ancient Sumerians ascended. Many of the Anunnaki left. You know, where are all the bodies of the billions that have been here? Many of them did grow up and leave. We are still stuck here.
Well,
We
what?
haven't even gotten to
Whoa.
that consciousness level of
Up.
following our
Consciousness.
star,
Up.
the sun.
Going
Right.
down.
Well,
Rising.
I asked a series of questions on December 21st, 2012. You remember when we all did all the ceremonies and decided the new world was coming, and then the next day, December 22nd, it was more of the same old crap, wasn't it? So that's when I said, I'm going to focus this conversation. No longer leak my energy out so much and reaching to all these different gurus and guides and books and DVDs and so forth. How about if I returned to the original source of my womb and said, could I build a light ship?
The original source, the womb, the centre. You can read all the books you want to read, you know, and which is good. And you can look at all the gurus you want to look. But it starts with you. And yeah.
On earth. That. How about if I returned to the original source of my womb and said, could I build a light ship on earth? That would be a physical structure following universal law that established coherence in my life from the chaos, from the entropy. And what if it looked like a dome
The dome.
that I could go inside of and live in like an instrument? It's like building a telescope for the universe and stepping into it and said, could this light ship?
And what I was getting off that was the dome. He's making a dome for a house, but I'll show you what shape in a minute. And people who are all on the, you know, the flat earth thing and all that, going about the dome. Well, if there is a dome over us and it keeps certain things out, wouldn't you think it's like, this is just me thinking out loud, wouldn't you just think all the energy's flying about could ricochet back off that and back to us? So hence why that side try and get us all in doom and gloom, because then it's all just circulating everywhere. But if everywhere was up in a higher consciousness of pumping out the positivity, that would all be bounding around and ricocheting off everyone and everything would just be hunky-dory, if you get what I'm saying. But it hasn't been, because that isn't the frequency that mainstream media and those of that side and people, muggles, have been projecting is more fair.
As a physical structure,
Saying.
regenerate my body, take me beyond sustainability. And what I'm saying again is we're too late for sustainability. That thing should have been done 200 years ago. At least we should have done it in the industrial age. We should have frickin' been, and here's my passion, but we should have already been there in the 60s.
We were getting there, but the side came in, didn't it? And tried to take us off all that and put in laws and things in that, you know, talk about sustainability. You can get land, but then it's either the muggles or whatever, or then you can't build on certain land and all this, that and the other. So it doesn't work. It's harder to do it when you should be able to do it anyway. Nobody owns the land. The monarchy doesn't own the land. Nobody owns it. It's everybody's.
Sustainable frickin' planet. It's too late for me. I'm not interested in that anymore. I don't even know what sustainability means. What I'm positioning here is to step into a process in your own lightship, in your own life, that opens up a conversation with that master ancestor DNA, with your body, with your cells, and giving specific instructions, keeping the matrix at bay, the MK Ultra, the invasion, the HARP, all of that nonsense, and having a space that you could live in.
Because it's a
That is
frequency.
a cymatic interference pattern of energies, life force, chi, prana, organ, all those.
All the good stuff.
A Dr. Emoto dream come true.
Dr. Emoto, I was well chuffed when he said Dr. Emoto, because I do shout Dr. Emoto out quite a lot with Tesla, and I think he mentions Tesla as well.
imprinting the water in your body with the frequencies of
Imprinting the water in your body, which is a chat I'm going to be doing because I've got a book called The Blue Mind about water. I know about water and intentions. Like I said, I've done the Dr. Motoring experiment. You should do it yourself. You can speak to water and the bodily waters within you as well as the bodily water, as the body of waters outside of the living, breathing waters. Blah 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 blah. But I have said that, and I will be re-going over it.
and what you are. That's what the Volsahedron is. And what if I could go into a journey of transformation and dedicate my life to healing this planet and my body?
Or
And
plane.
when I come out of this journey, it might be a decade, it might be 10 years, 20, 100, I don't know. I would be living on a planet of peace that woke up. That's the journey of the Volsahedron. It is going into homeostasis, symbiosis in a womb on Earth. Because to me, the concept of ascension is real. It's not like I want to disappear and go into rapture. I want to be here on Earth with my mother. Together, we're going to do this journey. And anybody who hangs out with me is going
Mother
to
Earth.
experience that energy. So the Volsahedron project is that inquiry.
Incredible. And you've been working on this for a while. I've been following you, and it just seems like it's ready to launch now. Is that what's happening? And kind of give
Yes.
us an idea of, like, say you're somebody just thinking about buying some land, interested in getting a Volsahedron. Is it something that a person can bring into their life, or is it a community you're creating? Or help us to understand what you're launching here.
Sure. The first thing I want to do is show you one of my 3D printed models that I've been
Look
showing.
at the shape.
This shape right here.
Wow.
Boom, it's a
It's created
star.
here in New
12
Mexico.
pointed.
It's my latest
Vesica
creation.
Pisces.
The geometry itself. This is the shape, the footprint of a 12-sided star with 6 major points and 6 minor points. These two are the Vesica Pisces. The proportion of this big triangle to this triangle is the square root of 3. Just like when you intersect 2 circles, that Vesica Pisces. These are 12 Vesica Pisces, each one of these.
And I was actually working on a bag. You have seen it. I'll have to show it at some point. I think it's over there with the face in the middle with a big star. It may have 12 points in it. I don't know. I'll have to count them. I'll laugh if it has. But it's that sacred geometry again. So that it's just ace. It's a dome, but it's a star shape. We are all stars, by the way. The human, what do they call it?
Is a frequency
Design.
interacting with each other. This shape, this piece of plastic, is a free energy device that's solid state. So the dome itself, the prototype that we're building this year, this summer, is going to be an 18-foot diameter dome by 9 feet high. Think of it as a big room of your house that will be made out of a type of concrete, a natural material that collects orgonite. Or it is orgone generation, and it is also a device that heats and cools itself. It has about 1,000 things that it's doing at once. This is superconductive sonic architecture. It is an instrument like a piano with 144,000 frequencies are in here. Can you imagine recording sound in this thing?
So like the Integratron, is that based in something similar, or is it?
I'm going to get up and move because my knees are killing me. Oh, by the way, I got this the other day just because I saw it on the floor. It's to make little mini pancakes with. I just thought I'd show you because I'm going to be starting making little pancakes with fruit and things in different toppings and stuff, because we don't eat a lot of cereal in this house for breakfast with milk or anything like that. And especially cow's milk, we don't really drink that in this house. My eldest one does. But, you know, I personally have oat milk and different milks, but, sorry, my knees are cramping because I'm sat on the floor, so I'm going to have to move. So yeah, little pancakes. Is that high enough? Yeah, I think that'll do. All right, let's listen again.
My brother, George Van Tassel, in Joshua Tree. Yes. George Van Tassel was reading from a Pleiadian. He himself said that source. That
Pleiadian.
was showing him how to build a teleportation, rejuvenation chamber. And those of us who study and look into this realize that the same energy to create free-flowing electricity is the same energy that regenerates our body, which is the same platform for mental telepathy and astral travel and remote viewing. You and I both have interacted with Andrew Massaggio and know that there's so many different technologies that have been weaponized
Yep.
that now can be peacified. And what
I love that.
peacified.
Peacified.
What I call the site we're going to build is not necessarily an intentional community. I feel those are going through a huge shift right now.
Did you hear that? I
Intentional
loved it.
communities are that
Listen.
there's so many different technologies that have been weaponized that now can be peacified.
Lots of technologies that have been weaponized. They were meant for the good, like Tesla's was. They weaponized to make sure it doesn't work for the people. No free energy. That can be peacified. Of course, they can be swapped. If they were meant for humanity and it got changed, then they can go back to what they were meant to be. Boom, boom.
And
I love that.
peacified. What I call the site we're going to build is not necessarily an
Still on
intentional
17 and
community.
17.
I feel those are going through a huge shift right now. Intentional communities are tough to build. People
Intentional communities. Love that. Love that.
start fighting and they want to go off a different direction and blah blah blah. The intention is called the center of mass creation. It is a laboratory to experience these technologies. One Volsahedron dome for each of the different energies we're studying. So there'll be a dome for studying water, one for electricity, one for sound, one for crystal energy and plasma energy, and it'll keep going up the scale of spectrum. So we'll be inviting
Spiraling.
two New Mexico researchers who are already there. I don't need to convince them. Because the question I asked, there are more awakening beings on this planet now than there have ever been. In my life, Laura,
And that's what I've said in your last law about Facebook and different places. Of course there are. Everyone's talking about it. So there is an awakening, and some people say they can't see it. Like,
have you ever looked through your Facebook and just seen hundreds, if not thousands of people into healing and sacred geometry and blah, blah, blah? Where were those
I have.
friends when I was little, right?
No, I didn't have any friends until social. I mean, acquaintances, but then I
Right.
had to kind of hide away, couldn't take the energy. Yeah.
So what is happening now is that we don't want to live in traditional homes anymore. We don't want to wear traditional clothing from the malls. We don't want to consume products. We would love to design an entire civilization from the ground up. How about if everything that we interacted with in this world, the new built environment, was intended from the beginning? The food that we eat from restaurants, the clothing that we buy, everything would be created by beings to regenerate all of us, to unite the planet.
And this is the reversal. Because we've been in a very
this is why I always say, might sound mad to some people, but the things I design, my jewellery, not this, but all the other jewellery I've got on, the jewellery I design, my drawings, paintings, bags, cards, whatever I'm doing, mine has an energy on it because that's the energy that I hold. It has an intention on it because I love doing it. It's coming from a loving, good love intention thing. So I've always said when I'm working with my hands, I'm touching the things that I make, but it holds the energy that I reside with. So it's not, like I said, mass produced on a production of a big machine. It's by me. And I'm giving that frequency out when someone, and this is what I believe, purchases something I've made. And I know there's a few people in chat that have purchased a few bits and bobs, and I have actually been told that, but I know that myself because when I make stuff, I don't make stuff. If I make stuff and this is what I want to do in the future, it's not because I want to make, I mean, obviously, yes, you need to make money out of it, but it's not, that isn't my sole purpose. I love doing it. It's a passion of mine. So a passion it's a love, it's a frequency, it is an energy I put onto things. Just want to throw that out there.
vampiric parasitic system for so long that has stolen and siphoned and harvested our energies, and this brings it all back.
Yes, how about living in a house which new couples, modern day humans that are awakening, would love to be in an instrument of consciousness. Imagine getting a house, your Vocahedron dome, and it comes with a kit. Your family, your kids would get a box with crystals and lasers and sound devices and magnets and so forth, and you can plug and play in different parts of the wall to create rainbows, cymatic patterns, and start figuring out that you're talking to God with this. You're talking to your ancestors. Why do we need the internet when you could have the internet, the conversation with yourselves, more of what you are? There's nothing that can be hidden from.
Oh, I've just seen an orb go past. You wouldn't have seen that. It's so tiny with me on my eyeballs. Talking about that. Yeah, your internet. That's why they call it the internet. We've got our own inner net within ourselves because it's all about going within. And there's some people out there that I don't understand that think I'm all up in the physical. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I talk about different stuff to put it out there to people of what's going on. Yes, it is all about going within, but how do you let people know that? Because some people aren't waking up to it. Some people are. Some people are going researching, and then they realise they do go within.
You any longer, right?
Yeah. Wow. Gosh.
The Vocahedron will be prototyped, and we're going to keep studying it. This is something designed to be studied, like the pyramids, for the next.
Yes, thank
1,000
you.
years.
I've just noticed that in chat. Thank you, First Munch. Living in a square is too old. Go back to round. Exactly. That's why I said round houses of day. His is a dome, but it's a star shape. Because square is quite controlling. It's man-made as well. Square. The curves. If you know the artwork. Oh, I don't even know where I've put it now. Where is it? This. A square is very unnatural. This work, Art Nouveau, they had the men were the squares and the structures like lines, where women were the circles. Circles of a life. Circles are very magical. It'd be lovely to live in a hobbit house. Yes, it would. Yeah, living in a box. We live in a box. It's that cube thing going on, isn't it? It's just very square and structured, and yeah, it's not natural. That's what I was talking about on Roxanne's about sustainable living with the hobbit homes and the roundness and the curves. You can have houses that are curved and bent and they're not so square, and they're so beautiful. So there you go. Just want to say that.
Scientists will bring their instruments and try to reverse engineer it and figure it out, but you can't do that with quantum phenomena. You have to experience it. You have to bring this instrument.
That's why
I'm tuning my
furniture
own.
is beautiful when it has curves to it. That's why women have curves, They wanted women more straight up and straight down like men, didn't they? All this fashion coming in of size 0, which isn't natural, people. There's a balance, You can't be way out there and whatever. There's a balance, but do you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. There's a reason why they took all this sort of art away from who was the artist again? I can't remember. Mucha. I love the Mucha. Is it Mucha? I don't know. It was a lot of women, and it was very soft and lots of curves and lots of circles and the flow with the hair. Before the what was the age that the art that came after Art Nouveau? My mum likes it. I don't. Art Deco. After that came Art Deco, more line structured, more squares. I'd rather go back to the Art Nouveau. Thank you very much for the curves because it's more natural, just saying.
Body, through pure consciousness, to be the instrument to experience this creation. And this project is a demonstration of what is possible to all those who are ready to go beyond healing. Laura, we've spent so much time this healing thing. We are healed, okay? We are infinite beings of light here on Earth. Let's start regenerating our bodies, regenerating the planet and each other.
Yes, you're right. Fairy magic. People work in boxes at workplace too. Dulls the creativity, makes people more complacent. It does. Because a circle's more like spiral, and you can spiral up it like a bit of a, squares. Yeah. It is. That's why they have people in offices. They're very square. You don't really normally see places that are quite curvaceous in build. But if we did, a lot of people are trying to do this. A lot of those modern, they would say curvy structures. They're beautiful and they go in with the land. They're not stuck out like a big squareness thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Um, so it's true.
Right? Because if we're going to be always tripping over, oh, I need more healing, and I'm still in the
Hi,
trauma of my
Jennifer.
family. We all go through it. We all
Right.
got our ass.
As I've always said, and I was saying in Roxanne's chat last night about moving away from certain stuff, listen to what he's going to say now. Spiral is a feminine energy, also the Fibonacci sequence. Yes, it is. And if you watch the film Wonder Woman, the new one, where some men start going, oh, they're bringing out all the women are heroes. No, it's about balance. And if you actually look in that film, where she comes from, where the Amazon women come from, they've got lots of spirals because it is divine feminine, and it's the divine feminine that's rising, as I keep banging out there, to the masculine to be in balance, not above, in balance. It's been a very man-made world, and that is changing for the better, for the nurturing, for the love, to be in balance with the man with woman and woman with man, and that goes off everything else as well.
Right? But at some point you declare yourself healed and move on to the next stage.
Listen to what he's saying.
Here on Earth, let's start regenerating our bodies, regenerating the planet and each other, right? Because if we're going to be always tripping over, oh, I need more healing, and I'm still in the trauma of my family. We all go through that. We all got our asses kicked, right? But at some point you declare yourself healed and move on to the next stage. You know,
Move on to the next stage. Declare yourself healed. Don't live in the I'm a victim mode. This happened to me and my family. I got abused. I had this. I had that. This happened. This happened. This happened. I've said this constantly. Let it go. Move on. Doesn't define who you are.
my 50s, and you know, we get to that age, we don't give a you know what about what people think, right? About how crazy our ideas are. And this guy right here is here to liberate and really heal that little boy that I was. I am his future. I talked to that little boy who was 8 years old. Oh,
Do you remember when I said ages ago, a few weeks ago, you can go back to your past self in meditation and heal yourself. You also do that by letting go. He's saying he is now him future self. You talk about being in the future. We are in the future now from where you were when you were younger. You don't have to pull that crap with you. Let go of it. Heal that little girl in me, that little boy in you. Like he said he did. He went back, healed. It doesn't have to define who you are in the future, not unless you want it to, but you're not going to grow.
Years old doing being laughed at and all that. I said, look at what the hell you're doing. You are sitting on one of the most advanced pieces of thinking on this entire planet. That is the awakening that I've had. The heart came to me and said, look at you now.
Look at you now.
You are influencing millions of people with your work.
You are influencing millions of people. He's influencing millions of people. I said, you don't have to be influencing millions of people. You can be one person. That's why the dynamo. One person can affect one person. That person affects that person. That person. That person goes on. It's a dynamo effect. So
this is the being that I asked for to come into my life. You know, the Vosa kind of awakening with technology and art and science, and it's fun, right? Do you think I want to go back to work at a corporation ever? Do you think people like us are in the military or in corporations or in the private sector? Isn't it a tragedy that the brightest advanced minds are not in any of those worlds, right? Well, now we're going to
because they're
make
controlled.
it happen, because these are the seeds to the economy of ascension, conscious regeneration, the intention of planetary
It's going to
liberation is gonna
change.
create energetic wealth on this planet. So
Energetic
become galactic
wealth,
beings
not this.
in our lifetime.
Oh, gosh, beautiful.
Let's teach that to kids in elementary school.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is the new paradigm template model of what we're truly made of and what this Earth and cosmos can provide. And I mean, when you look at folks like Tesla and all these different attempts by geniuses as like yourself that have been
Professor
shut down.
Searle,
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of people.
Dr. Emoto, we are, and I received this just today. We are the archetype of that healing process of all of those misunderstood and outcast and people who didn't get funding that were murdered, that blah, blah, blah. We are their reincarnation. Tesla's alive and well right now. So are all of
See, the people that got murdered, the things we talk about in Q, and they come with something for humanity, they want to put something out, they don't get funded. People take over their things, like we know Edison and Tesla, and they get murdered or whatever because, the other side don't want that coming out because they don't want free energy, they don't want the masses knowing, they can heal themselves, blah, 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 blah.
the thinkers.
Exactly. Yes.
And there's a lot of women in that world that we didn't even know existed. The genius, there are female Teslas out there
Oh, yeah.
right now.
Yeah. And this.
Yeah, the women that were like female Teslas and people back in the day, they didn't really pump that out a lot, did they? Because, they suppressed the woman. Oh, women don't know about this, that, and oh, yes, they do. But they won't put that out there, will they? No. They're here, though.
Is really huge. More and more people are going to come out of the woodworks. Do you feel like the targeting is just it just can't even penetrate? I mean, not just because of where we. I mean, do you think it's because of where we are in this window right now, or do you feel that the experiences?
We talk about can't penetrate. They can't stop what's coming. Dark to light, a bit like Q. She knows about Q. She does. They can't penetrate. If your frequency is higher, this is how it all starts to fall down on this side as well.
Passed down, and the level of intelligence to override these dark agendas has just mastered its ability.
See, overriding the dark agendas, I think he brings up 5G, but all the trees won't be cut down because there's something coming. They're not all going to be cut down. That's what they do, but the light side is winning, and, their plans are not going to go to full plan. 5G's to do with a frequency. I think he says it in here, actually.
To just continue to persevere. Do you feel like this particular window is giving us a
Don't forget, a lot of it's fear mongering as well. Yes, they cut trees down. There's lots being replanted as well, though.
greater opportunity? And that's why this is more possible now, I guess. I'll start with that.
I feel
People have got to realise out there, it's your frequency that you hold as well. Yes, we know about the trees and all that because the vegetation can stop it a bit, but it is the frequency you're on to stop these bad frequencies coming in. If you're down in fear, that's what they want, it's going to affect you more. It's a frequency you reside in as well, so...
Yes, there's a collective integration occurring at this moment of critical mass, so that the so-called opposition energy, one of the things
That's all they are. The dark side, the elite, the Luma donkey. That's a different form of energy. It's energies going against energies. So which one do you want to be in?
is no longer empowered as much as it used to be. Because I've also had the experience of being chased by black hell.
Thank you, Maggie. POTUS, Trump, pledged to plant millions of trees. Media ignored it. Media aren't going to tell you that. I've seen people planting trees and stuff, but media don't tell you. Media are not going to tell you a lot of stuff. They put a few things out, like apparently the royals were doing it. But they're not going to tell you that because they want you in doom and gloom. It is a frequency. I keep telling people this.
Helicopters, having weird phone calls, having threats. When I first started publishing my work 20 years, collective integration occurring at this moment of critical mass, so that the so-called opposition energy, one of the things that is no longer empowered as much as it used to be. Because I've also had the experience of being chased by black helicopters, having weird phone calls, having threats. When I first started publishing my work 20 years ago, that's what was happening. But I'll tell you right now, I of course know about the secret space program. I have friends that were participating in that at many levels and so forth. There is nothing I need from that group. There are no healing beds. There's no jump room to Mars technology I'm interested in. Just talk to our friends that have been through that. What do their bodies look like? What do their minds look like?
I mean, Andrew Bashaga's been trying to recover from blindness because of those.
Right. So I already have made them irrelevant to me. They cannot say, well, we're going to release the solution to the coronavirus and we're going to, screw them. Their consciousness is no longer relevant to what's coming through my heart. They wish they could understand what I'm doing. It's not an ego thing I'm stating. It is a knowing.
See? It's a knowing. People know in different truthing communities on here. You don't have to be resonating with all of it. Talking about the corona. See what you're saying? It's a knowing. Of course it's a knowing. This is what I've tried to sort of throw out there. Let's listen to what he says. That's why I said don't get triggered by certain words he's saying.
Are my truths. Because the pharmaceutical industry, that whole bag of monkeys,
What we talked
don't
about
even
last
have
night.
anything close to what we're doing. The industries that are transportation, the energy cartels, screw them. They don't have anything close to free energy. But within that, let me just calm that outburst for a second. We're inviting those who want to jump ship. If you are part of any of these systems, you're looking at this broadcast and your heart is leading you to participate. Look at all of us who are putting out our campaigns to raise money.
What do I think about Brexit? What do you mean? We've left, we're leaving, that's it. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going back to what we were because that's, there wasn't a problem when we were like that. Every country's taking their own power back, basically.
Those of us who
Don't
are
listen to
looking for
mainstream
land,
media.
those of us who are inviting collaborators, those who have, I live in New Mexico. There's a lot of ex-Black Project people here from Sandia National Labs, from Los Alamos, who are traumatized and they are healing. We're inviting those beings first to know that we exist. The light has arrived. The heart-centered technology is ready to be deployed on Earth to clean up everything. And we are inviting you all.
People think there was technology that can destroy stuff. There's technology that can put it back. Oh, yes. Everywhere's been hijacked. Canada, by Trudeau, France. It's worldwide, but they are taking the power back. That's why the people are rising against the government. Like I said, it's not all the government, this, that, and the other. It's worldwide. Venezuela, everywhere. Worldwide. We know what's going on. Power back to the
You
people.
always have a heartfelt invitation to do the right thing. The dragon families of this world, the cartels, the cabals, wake up, right? You can be in a place in your life that is about something. I incarnated on this planet.
And that's what I was saying before. Your life can be about something, for something, not against, like trolls doing this, that, and the other. Even the celebrities, the ones that are caught up in it all. I said this the other day, last night, with the guy who did the speech at the Emmys, the one who, whatever it was, the one who was like, we're not above anyone. I have done bad things in the past. You can have a choice to change. You do have a choice. If they want to come to the light, they can come to the light. A lot do follow the money, but a lot are deciding to change because they're realising it's about energy and what we were saying before. Of course, US is gaining ground with Trump. They're winning because Trump's part of Q and Q's part of a higher team doing stuff. They're all setting people free with the free energy. It's multi-layered, it's multi-dimensional. It's not what people think. There's loads going on. But when you actually look in the right areas and the right channels who are putting truth out, alternative news channels and so on, you find out the truth. That's why Trump was shouting out about free energy, about energy a bit ago. I've got energy. You've never seen energy. He said, we need clean water and air, clean skies and clean air from the chemtrailing and the shit in the water, the fluoride in the water, because it dumbs people down. So does the air. People were like, what's he saying? Clean what? Yeah, a lot behind what he was saying. When people take time out to understand, research and look, he's saying things for a reason. Bringing hemp back as well. Hemp can be made into everything. Cotton is rubbish. Cotton makes you sweat. It's not breathable. Hemp is way better than cotton, and also the cotton with the opioids that the Bush family brought in and everything and all that, blah, blah, blah.
There because I am about a mission and a directive that
Is a
fills
mission.
my heart with joy and happiness. The billionaires of this
Choose
planet,
free
the
will, yeah.
trillionaires, the Elon Musks of this world, wake up. I and many others like me.
Elon Musk, they're all up being controlled. They need to wake up, turn, but this is what I'm saying. When the side turns, which it is, the light is winning. When them control systems go down of the people that they're not in control, it's people above them, let them go to the light, they will go to the light. And the inventions that I have, they can change them.
Have energetic wealth in the trillions, if not quadrillions.
Yeah,
of dollars.
bamboo's good as well.
We have the entire civilization of solutions right here, ready for support.
Solutions. We need solutions, not arguing. Solutions.
And collaboration. Don't be scared.
Collaborations.
Use art projects. Imagine if you were a billionaire, Laura, right now, wouldn't you just go to Kickstarter and Indigo and just fund a whole bunch of people who are doing healing and energy?
That's what
Yeah,
I do.
I
With
would.
a little bit of money I have, and I'm far from a millionaire. If I have just a little bit extra.
And this is what I was saying. You can have money, but could the people with money pump into these sort of things? Trump does. Other people do. That's why people say, see, all evil, they've got loads of money. It doesn't mean people with money are doing evil things. There are people who are anonymous doing that. They don't say who they are, but they're giving the money out to help people. And I got told that with an entrepreneur on Friday of what he sees going on. So I know there's stuff going on. Like I said, I hear people, I'm in contact with people talking about certain bits and bobs globally. Ooh, reconnection was going then.
I'm always going and funding, and I definitely.
This first phase of my project, to build a mold, it's an aluminum form.
Let me see if I
And
can
you'll
fast
be
forward a
seeing this
bit.
next week in the Indiegogo campaign, and we'll put a these. There you go. Imagine having a 30-day, 90-day ascension program to practice energetic communication with your body.
Energetic communication with your body. We are not taught about energetic communication with your body. They bombard us with energetic waves and weapons, things that you can't see, but the wave, you can't see it, but it's there. That's how they get us with certain things. And we're not taught about this, obviously, because they don't want us to know. Saying.
With your star family. You talk to people like David Sarita have technology that generates frequencies to create entanglement, superpositioning across distances. We're saying to people, this is real.
Art is for anybody, no matter what it is doing. Sculpting art is not just for women, like what First Munch said there, it's for anyone. And also I did write down the fact of art in any sort of form, dancing, singing, art form, drawing, paint, whatever it is, just say example, dancing is an art form. The way you move your body, not in a controlled art that the controlled dance that telling you to do, more, I mean it is, but it's an expression. An energetic expression. It's an expression with no words, because everyone gets mixed up on words and everyone gets triggered by words. It's just an expression. If someone does a dance, for instance, about like something really traumatic, you can see it in the dance of the expression of the faces, the way they may clench their fists in the dance. If it was like a story about, it's like a story with no words, because I believe that's what we were. Didn't have to have words. We expressed through them sort of expressions. If it was a love, a story about love, you'd see the more flowing, the hands of, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be like dramatic. It would be, and you'd feel it. You'd also feel it. You can tell when someone draws something, for instance. What have I been trying to, let's have a go now. What have I been trying to project through my artwork? I'm just flipping through a few. Can anyone, obviously I talk about it a lot. Can anybody see the connection of what obviously I just go into? Because art for me is meditation. When I'm drawing and that, I'm meditating. Can anyone? Sorry about that. Can anybody feel? I've not known this, but started realising last year actually what it was I was bringing in. Does anybody know what the feeling, without me speaking, of what sort of form I was bringing in compared to people like the Podestas who do art that is really disgusting, their intentions in their self, very dark stuff? Does anyone? It's not dark art, is it? It's very nature-based, it's very divine, feminine-based, angelic, whatever, you know what I mean? And I think people can feel that through when they see it. It's not nothing evil, bad, dark intentions. Not saying that's bad people do it. I'm just saying this one was the one I did before I started seeing orbs. So I drew that before I brought it in. That's a manifestation, isn't it? So just saying, the sort of things I express is through my art. You can clearly see without words, I'm hoping, what I project through my expression of my, trying to get this right, artwork. Hopefully. Just saying, and that's how it sort of works.
I'm just one conduit. This is not me inventing everything. This is one human tuning in to the template that is out there for everyone. Most people wake up when they know about my project and say, wow, if this nutcake is doing it, I can too. So yes, we're going to make material available online. I would like to build a new web web team. And right now, I'm inviting collaborators who would like to help with the marketing, help with and we're going to use new terms. Thank you. You already there. We don't do marketing. This isn't a campaign. We're not creating a war scenario here. This is an invitation. It is a collective integration. This is a supernova launch.
Hear what you're saying there? Hear what you're saying there? It's not a war. Listen.
With the marketing, help with and we're going to use new terms. Thank you. You already there. We don't do marketing. This isn't a campaign. We're not creating a war scenario here. This is an invitation. It is a collective integration. This is a supernova launch of a comet of light, of knowledge and wisdom that I am not restricting in any way. So, yes, I will be able to share the Vossahedron building plans across the world by next year. So
Can I just say, because I just saw that in chat about First Munch obviously saying your mates think you're gay because you're on a spiritual enlightening path, and then Tap has put in, spiritual awakening is not gay, your friends don't understand. No, they don't understand, and they definitely don't understand. When people don't understand, they fear it. When people fear, they throw back stuff and laugh at it because they don't understand it at all. You know, hopefully they will do one day. They'll start on their path. But that's how people are when they don't understand what's going on, not just around them, more importantly, what's going on within them, because it's all connected.
Countries can build Vossahedron.
Yeah, they're not ready yet. They will be, but not yet.
Laboratories that have 12 research dimensions to them, right? Because if parents are putting in $200,000 for their kids to go to these universities, that at the end of the day, you know, if I put in $250,000 for my kids' education, they better graduate millionaires, is what I'm saying. Because there is no justification for any university to charge what they charge, because they don't even have the language that we're speaking at the moment. You know, the heart-centered directive to bring technology and solutions that contribute to weapons building. So what we do is called engines of mass creation. We don't build products. Yes, the center of mass creation generates engines of mass creation. That's what a Vossahedron is, an engine that gives and gives and gives it a free energy source of wealth of the heart. This is the language that includes a new mathematics, Laura. We're going to have symbology, light language in mathematical formulas.
Light language.
When we describe energy in the near future, we're going to have symbols for humans and the heart and compassion, and they're going to be able to compute. And you're not going to be able to describe gravity or magnetism without the symbols of humans and the heart-based intention.
Yeah.
This is the new science of consciousness.
It's blowing it all open. It's lifting the veil. It's helping us to see what we've been shut off from, and that it's major. So when you look at things like ET technology, I know you talked about secret space program stuff, and it seems to be, a weaponized version, or just, using, children especially, to test out these things for their own personal.
That goes into one we were saying about aborted kids and kids that have lost parents that they also used them to experiment on, because then no one knows they're missing, if anyone gets what I'm saying from that chat last night, just saying.
And desires, like build colonies on Mars and create new world order on Earth kind of thing. More advanced ET technology, though, based in sound, color, and frequency. Do you feel like your future self? Do you feel like an extraterrestrial thing, or is it so organic to you that you don't go into the names and the different star systems? And do you recognize some of the technologies you're working with as being connected to your future self, that's connected to any particular ET group, or like what?
Oh, yes. Throughout this research and during what I consider the latest wave of my conscious awakening, it was a connection to Pleiadian energy, Sirian, Arcturian, Agarthan, Inner Earth, and Andromedan energy, where I was shown through a DNA resonance pattern in my first eye. I was shown that we live on other planets in geometric structures that are instruments to amplify consciousness. This is already happening. I'm reading from those templates. Tygenta in the Pleiadian system has geometric domes but they have already gone into energetic status. You know, many beings have gone through several million years of evolution and shown us that there's a progression from being a carbon-based life form to crystalline life form, silica, quartz.
Yeah, but I don't get triggered by the word Mars because they're just talking about what the other side have been trying to say, that they were putting colonies. We all know, you know, whatever. Well, we don't know actually, but you know what I'm saying? I don't get triggered by all that.
You go through the spectrum all the way to pure plasma beings and beyond. And at some point, a couple of years ago, I have, you know, 2017, 2018, they were complicated,
2017
difficult
and
freaking
18.
years. I thought it was getting better, but no. And I did a presentation of sorts in my living room by myself. I was upset. I was feeling the weight of the world. You know, you've had those days where you're overwhelmed with what's happening. And I said, whoever the fuck, yeah. So, you know, not to cuss, but I said, whoever the fuck is listening right now, whoever are my ancestors, whoever are my guides, you're all fired right now. We are going to showcase. This is what I said in anger and in passion. I said, let me show right now what the vision that's coming through me. It's the center of mass creation. This is how it's going to work. Here are the domes. Here are the energies. Who's in? The next version of us, the next version of this entourage of energy is going to accelerate the materialization of this.
Yeah.
Because no longer do I need these lessons of being sabotaged and blocked and having old stories from my child, blah, blah, blah. You know, at that moment, so many things have happened in my life since then. And I did an invocation. You know, it's like, you know, the Lord of the Rings with my staff and said, you shall not pass this freaking darkness. I'm done with you on this planet. You know, you've chased me my whole life. So now I've become this more softer, gentler, peaceful being that said, I love electricity. Talk to me. How can I work with you? I love
Talk to me.
I love you.
I think that's a lot what the orbs are personally. It's that energy of different things coming in.
How could I form magnetic fields of the future that create lattices that connect
Roaring
me to
in.
a more benevolent way of creating technology?
Malevolent
that
way.
language came through me in 2018. And by 2019, I said, now we're ready, you know, as a healed human who's done the work now.
How would you say that connects to the electromagnetic spectrum? We got the electromagnetic, you know, and just how
The Earth is a battery.
maybe our capacity to see what used to be unseen is coming in too through these kind of technologies that you're bringing forth.
I'll share a screen for the audience. This is the...
I mean, personally, I think the sun, you know, you draw the sun in, photosynthesis, and then you release out to the moon. That's why a lot of people do rituals and that, because it's the negative and the plus side of the battery. So you can manifest and bring things in, soaking up the sun, releasing out to the moon. Just saying. I'm just going to show you what he's showing.
Healing Codex. This is a 12-dimensional geometry of the Vocahedron that has a lot of words. A link that I'll send you, Laura, that we'll put in this video so people can order a poster or a...
And you can go and check that out yourself.
Merchandise that has this on it.
And it
is
says...
an alchemical description.
An alchemic, which I'm always talking about. It's alchemy, baby. It's got consciousness at the top, earth, fire, water, air, plasma. Plasma, I say, is like the ether. It's plasma. That's what I think that's what the stars are made of, plasma. That's what I think orbs are plasma, light. That's why they're coming in. A lot of energies are going at the minute. That's why I believe I've been seeing them more, and a lot of other people are. And you've got like DNA, the galaxy, the sun, the Gaia, the body, the cell, reincarnating, touch, botanical, light, sun. What does that one say? You can go and check it out anyway, but it says, that's what I also said about the whole thing with this, is earth, air, fire and water. The point at the top of the star, not reversed, the right way up, is the ether, plasma, spirit, whatever you want to call it, in a circle there.
Of the physics that I'm using. It has 6 different rings that you can see
Flower of life.
that represent the different energy states that I'm working with. Plasma, earth, fire, water, air, and consciousness. And then there's a little rainbow that you can kind of see that have the words awaken, activate, intend, harmonize, radiate, envision. This is the process of ascension and awakening. So I'm not going to go deeper into this because this would be a call, just you and I going through the Healing Codex. It's a stargate that you turn.
It says wisdom,
the ring
compassion,
to come up with
union,
different
expression,
combinations.
love
So
and the
I will
mission,
stop the
frequency.
share.
It
It's just
says
a
on there,
teaser of the
sorry.
Healing Codex. This is part.
Hang on. Let me just...
This is the process of ascension and awakening.
Alchemy,
So I'm not going to go deeper into this. 'Cause this
frequency,
would be a
feminine,
call, just you and I going through the Healing
masculine.
Codex. It's
Brilliant.
a stargate that you turn the rings to come up with different
Stargate.
combinations. So I will stop the share. It's just a little teaser of the Healing Codex. This is
Hang on.
there's a little rainbow that you can kind of see that have the words awaken, activate, intend, harmonize, radiate, envision. This is the process of ascension and awakening. So I'm not going to go deeper into this because this would be a call, just you and I going through the healing. And I'm not saying this is an absolute system for everyone. This is something that I'm sharing like a poem.
But
It's
it's
a
like,
creation.
yeah.
Just to say the Healing Codex, because the physics I was taught in school are not helping me right now. The math and science I was taught in school,
Let's move it on a bit.
of our bodies, our portfolio right now is overflowing. My bank vaults are overflowing.
Never even thought of that word, portfolio. Your portfolio, porthole, portfolio. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that because there's a few more minutes on. It's over an hour. I'm going to listen to the last bit while I'm tidying up the stuff I've just got out. I've got a few bits to do and I'm speaking to someone after about something supernaturally sort of thing. See how that goes. Let you know about that. But basically, please go and check out Laura Eisenhower. Don't get triggered by certain words like the Mars colony and the planets. Either here nor there. Take the T off planet and it's plain. I don't do that. I listen to the message and listen what resonates because some people aren't into all that and it doesn't matter. You know, that's not what the focus on. There is actually more important things than that. And it is ourselves and our energy that we hold. Which goes into the earth. So yeah, I believe the shape of the earth is a thing because it's the way that the energy's held and all that. But to me, it's more about us, we the people, and what we truly are, and how much power we truly have. That they've tried to dumb us down. They have been harvesting it from us, but once we know, we know. So just saying, I wanted to come and share that because personally, I thought it was good information. It was interesting. It linked up to a few things we were saying last night in Roxanne's chat. Show them the dates. Oh yeah, the dates at the end of people going on about the, I mean, I'm sick of mentioning it to tell the truth, the coronavirus. I don't feed into it, but I will show you the dates that I said last night. Hang on. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking at something. I'll have to look at that in a minute. Right, so the coronavirus that I just don't feed into is... I did read it out last night, and I think Durf or someone, I can't remember who else, said it last night, was... cycles of the man-made crap they want to put out. 2002, Nile virus is going to kill us all. 2004, SARS, I think it's SARS virus is going to kill us all. 2005, bird flu is going to kill us all. 2019, swine flu is going to kill us all. 2014, Ebola virus is going to kill us all. 2016, something like Zika, I don't know how to say it, virus is going to kill us all. 2020, coronavirus is going to kill us all, what, the common cold. Wake up everyone, they just want us to be in fear. I'm not buying it. I don't buy into it either. That's why I don't really go on about it much, because it's a fear-mongering thing. Yes, people may have died, and that a lot of people die from the common cold. I do believe it is the common cold. The coronavirus has been out for 100 years, because the actual tin can spray of that kills it off. I can't remember what it's called. Actually, is that company's been out for 100 years. So when people actually do the research, they'll realise it's not a new thing. You know, I mean, AIDS was man-made. People need to research that. Lots and lots of things. But there you go. Shout that out. So please go and check out Laura Eisenhower's channel anyway. She's got really great interviews on there. Like I said, don't get triggered by... Some people don't watch stuff because they get triggered by certain words, and some of it will resonate with you. You take the bits that you resonate. You don't have to resonate with the other bits. That's what I do. Yeah, that word there, Maggie, thank you. Is it Lysol? Something like that. Yeah. And like I said last night, there is good things coming. There's more good people than bad. I don't feed into and all that crap. So yeah. So I'm about to go and tidy up, get something to eat. I'm going to read some of my water book. I will be coming with that information. Tired from last night, went to bed late on there with 4 hours, more than 4 hours with Roxanne. Don't have to come and do this. Just wanted to bring my energy. This is why I do it, because the only thing I've ever been bringing on it is my energy. It's all about energy. So, yes. So, hopefully... my next chat will, and this is why I come on randomly now. I shouldn't really say I'm going to come on here and I'm going to do it on certain days like I was trying to do on a Sunday, because we all know it's not going to happen. I just come intuitively when I need to. It's not going to work with me going, I'm going to come on this day, because if I really wanted to say something, I'm just going to be sat thinking, oh my God, I need to say something. I've got to wait till Tuesday or whatever. No, it's never going to happen with me. So I will be seeing you probably midweek or something, probably be on tomorrow. No, I don't know when I'll be on, just when I'm on. Yeah, random's good. It is. You know, with more of this, more pumping positivity out, more pumping out stuff about us looking within and the energies we can bring in and how we're going to do that, blah, 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 blah. So thanks all for coming in. Thank you to... Right, you're going to have to just put a heart in if you want your name shouting out, because I'm not scrolling up to the top. I'm going to start from thanks First Munch for coming in. Now you've got a wrench. Hi Tapper, Maggie, Fairy Magic who's new, JP, I'll be sorting your stuff out, Ricardo, JP, oh yeah, I've just said JP. Right, I'll try and scroll. It's just annoying scrolling. Maria, is it Maria? Is that Maria in there? Mary. Astral Faith. Major Face Balm, was it? Or Palm, was it? Major Face. Sorry, I've just missed it. That's why I'm not scrolling up. X is in. Revel, and I'm not going right to the top because I'm just gonna, I can't, did I say Maggie? And whoever else is there, I just can't be bothered scrolling up because I just, yeah, it takes too long. So everyone that came in, everyone that'll be watching after, thank you First Munch. And yeah, I just wanted to come and share it because personally I thought it was good. And I know that, like I said, some of us will subscribe to a channel or put note for a notification and all that, and we don't get them. So when I've shouted this channel out before, you might have missed it and not seen it. It just popped up today, I listened to it, and I thought it was ace myself. And it's just linking into many different parts that I link into myself. And if it's about energy, and Nikola Tesla's been mentioned, and all that good stuff, and heart energy, I'm all over it. So, and I have to share just so some of you can, you know, go and see if you resonate with it. But it is a really good listen to, you know, than me sat here trying to get you to listen to it, because you can listen to it in your own time. So I will see you soon. Have a good Sunday. The energies are feeling very light to me today. This Sunday, even though I'm tired, is feeling, you know, yeah, we've got khaki weather, but it's feeling very light. I mean, is the weather moving these khaki energies away, washing them, cleansing them? I just feel it's a very, just feels nice and airy today, and nice and light in energy, and feels good to me today. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I'm feeling pretty good, pumped up with energy. And this is how we give each other energy as well. If people are coming in doom and gloom, that's dragging your energy away from you, obviously. So big up in the energy. Have a great day. Where we go one week wall, and I will see you very soon. And I was just sat colouring that in then when I was just listening to that, so decided she could have red hair. But yeah, talk to yourself, selves, kindly, and I will see you soon. Bye.